So, you know how you want to read a book, but you're not exactly sure how sexy it's going to be. And to some of us, not naming names, how sexy it's going to be is kind of a big deal. Well, that's where I come in. I'm here to read out the very sexiest moments in a book so that you know whether you want to get into that jam. And today I thought I would present to you So, I will be reading out the very sexiest parts of Everneath, and you can decide for yourself if you want a piece of that. So I sank to the ground and spoke softly. Please make it fast. I don't want Jack to see you. For the first time in 100 years, Jack's lips were against mine in a real kiss. He was mine again, and in that moment I made a decision. I had to find a way to stay. I glanced around at the faces in the audience. It was obvious none of them saw the colours as I saw them. Looking back at Cole, I realised the drops were accumulating on the guitar. He made sure I was watching as he tipped his head back and inhaled deeply, sucking in much of the electric mist surrounding. I mean, I'm not saying it's me, but I'm not saying it's not me. I think that's an important distinction to make. Oh wait, there's more. Seeing him gorge himself on stolen emotions made me realize I was still so empty. I felt the hunger, so I started towards the exits to get away. You know, kind of frankly, the more years pass, the more I am shocked by the huge breadth of material that will turn me on. Jack nodded and followed me to the broom closet. He grabbed a mop and bucket. I slammed the closet door behind me. The cuff of my shirt caught on the doorknob and yanked the sleeve. Whoops. I kind of underestimated how many sexy parts there were in this book, so I'm just going to start randomly reading words in my sexy voice. Gear. Your skin doesn't feel different, he said, looking closer, tracing the edge of the mark. I could feel his breath. I smelled the sweet and rustic scent of his aftershave. Tunnels. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, I'm getting a little hot and bothered here. Cold. I'm not even gonna read that one out. Cold. We used to be like this, Nick. He leaned even closer, not physically touching me, but I could feel the charge between us. I knew I should have pushed away, but my stupid body betrayed me. My traitorous arms and legs wanted to tangle with Cole's again. That 100 years in the Everneath had moulded us together, and our bodies had memorized how they were supposed to fit. You know, it's kind of like Nikki is me, and this book is Cole, and it's stealing my emotions and using them to fuel itself into a monster. Yeah. Then wrapped it around his back soft and low and pressed my fingers into position. With Cole so close, I couldn't help imagining leaving it all behind right now. The pain, the pungent smell of the surface, the disappointment of my family, the heartache of Jack. I gotta read this book again. I have got to read it again. Okay then, we're doing this. I mean, they're talking about knocking on a door, but still pretty sexy. Commanding. I like it. What's important to know is never be ashamed of your kink. Never. Unless it's possibly illegal. Should have thought that one through a bit more. Definitely should have thought that through a bit more. So, I hope that has been as educational for you as it has been for me. I read from Everneath by Brodie Ashton, and this is book 1 of a 3-part series. So if you liked what I read, if you liked it, you might want to think about picking up a copy. Until then, bookish folks, enjoy your week.